Okay, as always, brand new little review on 3 new products on the market. One of which, Yamamoto Tanuki. The other is a little thing called a Double Down from Gamakatsu. I'll show you that. And then the Chad finally starting to ship a bunch of these. A bunch of retailers are getting these. So we'll talk a little bit about that here in a second. But we're going to start off with the Yama Tanuki from Yamamoto. This is an interesting bait. Really, it's what I call in the scat category of soft plastics. And I know what you're thinking. That's the missile baits guy is talking about a different soft plastic. Yes, it's cool because Yamamoto has been making this bait for the Japan market, or the Japanese market. I don't know which is grammatically correct. The Japanese market for quite a while. I was talking to Crispin Pally over there at Yamamoto, and he was telling me that they've been making it over there for quite a while. They sell quite a few of them over there. It's kind of a standard deal. And he was saying that this bait really kind of launched that whole scat category. No, they don't call it the scat or cover scat or fish poop or anything like that. Does it look like a piece of poop? Kinda. I mean, kinda, it does, a little bit. If you pinched it off, if you pinched off the end a little bit. But Yama Tanuki could mean poop in Japanese. I don't know. I don't speak Japanese very well. I like to pretend that I do because it's fun. But the Yama Tanuki, this thing weighs 5/8 of an ounce. And it really kind of, like I said, launched that whole category of the cover scat type products from Japan. They've gotten very popular in the last couple years. And it's got a hook slot in the top and the bottom, so it's kind of like unidirectional. I guess you could rig it, this is the top or this is the top, whichever one you wanted to do. This is just green pumpkin. I don't know what other, they got a handful of other colors, very, very basic colors. I would imagine that they're going to introduce a lot of new ones because of the popularity. They've sold a bunch of these things, but this, like I said, this thing weighs 5/8 of an ounce. It has a lot of girth to it, man. It's really, I would say, more of like, as Crispin was telling me, it replaced a jig for him in a lot of instances. When he wants a finesse presentation, short, compact, put in small places, he's picking this thing up. He said it gets down pretty quick, fishing it on, flip and stick, 20-pound test, just like you would a jig, and you're pitching it and flipping it around to give them a totally different horizontal type presentation. I think it's cool. I like it. There's been something in the works from Missile for a while in this category, but it does not look anything like this, and the action's different. You'll see soon enough. But Yama Tanuki, very cool. A nice replacement for guys looking to fish a jig, or maybe it's guys that don't have a lot of confidence in jig fishing, and they want more of like a soft plastic substitute for that. There's the D-bomb, but maybe they want something just different. Yama Tanuki might be the deal for you. So let me show you this Gamakatsu Double Down, and it is a wire form. Somebody smarter than myself came up with this idea, and there's a lot of chatter about, within the lure making world, on the owner pin that goes in. That pin has the single deal, and then the wire that wraps around it. It makes it very easy to put things on. Holds very well, but I'm gonna tell you right now, this is the Gamakatsu weighted swim bait hook, super line hook is what they call it. It's got the traditional single wire on it. I'm taking that puppy right off of there. And the Double Down, you just put one of the wires through the hole, screw it on there, and then now you've got 2 wires, not one, but you got 2 wires. They're gonna hold your bait on there. So you can take and and just mash the bait up. Here, I'll pick one of these Yama Tanukis. Sacrifice you, buddy. Gonna take it and just jam it right there. And then you just twist it. Now you've got 2 coils that are holding that bad boy on there. Let me loosen it a little bit. I got her a little too tight. But then you're just, you know, if you wanted to use this on the Yama Tanuki, I don't even know if you'd use a weight. I don't think you need to, but you could. You absolutely could. So there you go. There's 5/0. Fits in that Yama Tanuki really nice. And dude, that thing ain't coming down, bro. You can skip it all day long. And that's going to stay right on there. So double down, very cool. Replaces, you know, if you wanted to, replaces that little screw on. If you wanted to use it for, you know, a toad hook, or, you know, like I said, this swim bait hook, anything like this, those double downs are super, super slick. They go on, they make you put your bait on there real easy, and they got twice as much hold as a single wire. Somebody over there at Gamakatsu, they're smart. I'm glad I have access to that stuff. So that's cool. Double down. They come in 3 different sizes. I'll show you the 3 different sizes real quick. Medium, large, and extra large. For those bigger swim baits, the extra large is pretty big. Yeah, if you're fishing the big, you know, the big monster swim baits, whatnot on them big monster swim bait hooks, you need a lot of hold. Yeah, that thing's pretty good size. Pretty good size right there. So there's the medium, large, and extra large. Double down, Gamakatsu. Very cool. All right, here we go. Back to the Chad KGB. Now KGB, Kevin Brightwell, KGB, has been garage making glide baits for a number of years. Very, very popular. They're one of the most popular garage brands. I mean, you've got a bunch of them. You know, Phony Frog is a really good one. They're based here in Virginia. You've got Mike Buca's been doing it for years and years and years. Really came out with the multi-jointed with the with his swim baits, but you know, he's been into the glides for a number of years as well. There's just a number of really good brands. I mean, 30 Acre. I mean, name it. Bunch of them. But KGB partnered with Spro, and they took one of his most popular designs in the Chad, made a plastic version of it, and this is it right here. And the cool thing about it, some of these colors, like this is a gizzard shad, and part of it is translucent. With all the handmade glide baits, you can't get any translucent colors. So the fact that you can get translucent colors in this plastic bait is good. 6th Sense has some out. I don't know much about their newer stuff. Like the Flow Glide's been out for a number of years. I've been fishing that thing for a long time. Good bait. A little different. It's pretty choppy, but not as choppy as the Chad Shad. That's one of the reasons that Chad Shad is very popular. And what I mean by choppy is that when you look at the joint, you know, say versus an S-waver, you're going to have, you know, boom. It's going to go from here to here. S-waver's not real choppy. The S-waver has a real wide sweeping glide when you just kind of steady reel it. Now the Chad Shad, you can steady reel it, but it's going to kind of come a little tighter, but it's really made for chopping it with little reel handle bumps. You can make that thing go, it'll just kind of sit in one place almost like a jerk bait. So you see how wide that tail swing is. That's what makes that thing turn back and forth. It'll do 180s, basically back and forth. And you can see it's got also the rotating hook swivel. I love this because the bass can't get any leverage once you hook them, because this is a big chunk of plastic, so they can't get any leverage on it. It's got that paintbrush style tail, and really what that does, if you're not sure, so when that bait twists side to side, if you don't have some sort of extra resistance here, the tail's would kind of stay kinked off to the side. But because that paintbrush tail, man, this thing goes, because of that resistance, it goes whoop, and the bait comes back in a natural position. So it'll chop, poop, 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 and then when you stop it, that back end goes whoop, comes right up to, comes back straight as it finishes, you know, so chop, 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 and then it glides forward a little bit, and then that tail, that resistance from the tail straightens the bait up. So it's very cool. I'd fish this on heavier line, cashing big bait rod, total plug right there, baby. But something that has enough power to throw this. This bad boy, what do they rate this thing as? It's a couple ounces. There's not a weight on it. They don't tell you how much it weighs. There's a couple OZs. You can drop a couple OZs on this thing for sure. So you need a rod that's got enough power that you can throw it. If you have to, flipping stick, maybe a medium heavy, but that fast action is not what you want. You want something that's more of a moderate taper. That's what I did with the big bait rod. And then you're gonna just chop it around, use it almost like a jerk bait. You're gonna throw it to cover, like a lay down dock or anything like that, and then you can chop it up, make that thing be a real erratic. Fish will come out of the cover and rush that thing. Very cool. Don't have any on the water video to show you at the moment, but that's the Spro KGB Spro Chad 180 right there. Finally getting into stores. Like I said, they have, I don't know, I think it's like 5 or 6 different colors. All of them look really good. In my opinion, that gizzard shad right there is beautiful. Beautiful. There it is right there. If anybody has any questions or comments, as always, drop them down there. I appreciate everybody watching, and no matter what you're fishing, I'll be trying to review it and show you what is the newest, latest, greatest, and how to fish, all this kind of stuff. So drop your comments down there. Let me know what else you might want to see, and if you have any experience with any of these baits, let me know as well. Thanks.